everyone, Mike Ferris Barbecue, Woodbridge, New Jersey. Today I'm going to show you how we make a tomahawk steak. Tomahawk steak, I mean, it's just going to be the star of any Instagram reel, any steakhouse you go to. They're putting on a show. There's confetti, there's fire, there's fireworks, there's people torching it. You know, any Instagram reel is going to feature a tomahawk steak, and you know, it's going to suck you in. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but it's going to be worth it. So we're going to make it here at home, try to save a little bit of money, but at the same time not sacrifice any flavor. So we're going to do this thing right. So very simple. We're going to use our Ferris Barbecue beef rub. Could do a video on how to make this at some point, but spoiler alert, it's only 3 ingredients. It is our kosher salt, coarse ground pepper, and a little bit of granulated garlic. So we're going to sprinkle this on. We're going to be very liberal just because this is a huge piece of meat. This is prime graded. So as you know, there are 3 grades of beef here. So there is prime, which is the best choice, which will have some marbling, but not as much as prime. And then select, which, I mean, we're really just going to want to stay away from. Other than the Wagyus and whatnot, there are the 3 main grades of beef. So this is prime. This is going to cost you a little bit more, but it is going to have that fat marbling that we are looking for in a steak, especially a ribeye, a tomahawk. Something like that. So you can get this rub on real nice. You can get the sides here. Leave no part untouched. Like I said, huge piece of meat. It can handle some extra seasoning. So we're really gonna layer it on here. And you want to season your steak really as early as you can. I wouldn't recommend doing it while it's on the grill. Definitely not that. I wouldn't even recommend right before the grill. I mean, if you have hours before, you know, you could season this thing, throw it in the fridge for 2-3 hours. That's what I'd recommend. Really let it seep in there, let the salt get in there especially, and you're gonna finish with a much better product. So we're finishing seasoning here. So as you could see, I was real liberal on this. You know, really loaded this thing up. So I'm gonna go throw this in the fridge for a few hours, and we'll come back and we will show you how we are gonna prepare. Okay, we're back. We're burning some coals here. So we're gonna do this cook on the Weber Kettle. Absolutely just classic, timeless grill here. I mean, you can use this thing for anything. You could use it for grilling. You could use it for smoking. You can use it for indirect heat, direct heat. I mean, anything you want to cook outside over a fire, you can use this Weber Kettle for. So this is, you know, obviously my go-to for any sort of small cook, any sort of grilling, anything, you know, steaks, chicken wings, I mean, you name it, I'm doing it on here. So we got our chimney going with some lump charcoal. I prefer the lump charcoal as opposed to the briquettes. They're, you know, a lot of times there's a lot of additives in there. They're kind of manufactured. I mean, this lump charcoal is, you know, just burnt, you know, burnt wood turned into coals. So we got this thing lit. We're almost ready to go. So then we'll dump these coals onto the grill, and we'll get going on our steak. All right, so we have our coals on the grill. The coals are going to provide the heat, and this wood chunk, this is a pecan wood chunk. This is going to provide some smoke and some flavor for us. So with beef, I've experimented with a few different types of woods. I've used mesquite, which offers very unique, almost a little funky flavor for steaks, which I like a lot. Pecan I've just gotten into somewhat recently. Definitely a nice, kind of mild smoky and a little nutty flavor. Really pairs well with the steak. So we're rolling with that for today. And then of course our steak we'll be adding on to the grill as well. So we are doing today what is called a reverse sear. So we will be dividing the grill into 2 different zones. So we'll have a hot zone where the coals and the wood are, and then the steak on the other side. So we're going to essentially smoke this thing until it gets to right around 110, 115 degrees. And then we are going to take it off, and we are going to throw it onto the fire and get a great sear on there to provide some crust, which our beef rub helps provide as well. So we kind of get the best of both worlds. We get some smoke, and then we get that nice crust from that hard sear later on. So we'll check on this in a little bit, and we'll see where that takes us. All right, we got our steak under the lid here. You can see kind of that clear bluish smoke That's the exact kind of smoke we want to see coming out of this thing. We don't want to see thick white smoke. That means we're running a dirty fire with either wet wood or just not good wood at all. So it's nice to see this just clear, clean, bluish type smoke coming out of the grill. We're gonna let this go a little longer, and then we'll check temp. And then once we're at that 110, 115, we're gonna throw this on the fire and really have some fun. All right, we're checking on our Tomahawk here. You can see this thing's really browning up, getting a nice almost mahogany color here. So we're gonna temp this thing, and we're hoping to be, pushed a little too far. But yeah, we're right at 116, 117. So we're gonna pull this thing off and we're gonna throw it on the fire. All right, so look at the sear on this Tomahawk. I mean, look at that color, the mahogany, the sizzling. I mean, that is just beautiful. This is what dreams are made of. All right, so we got this thing on the flame. Some of those fats are gonna start to drip down and really ignite this fire, but you can hear the sizzle, and you can see some flames shooting up here. So we're gonna keep an eye on this. We're gonna flip it fairly rapidly, just to kind of get an even sear on both sides. As long as we're not cutting into it, we're not affecting anything inside. But you see that fire starting to build, and we're gonna get a real nice sear on this thing. All right, so look at the sear on this Tomahawk. I mean, look at that color, the mahogany, the sizzling. I mean, that is just beautiful. This is what dreams are made of. All right, we are ready to cut this thing up and do our big reveal here. Alright, we'll save this part for later because that is a lot of fatty goodness. Let's take a look at our inside here. I mean, wow. Juicy, pink, not too red. I'm not really a rare guy, but I'm a medium rare, bordering on medium guy. I mean, this just looks fantastic. So we're gonna cut this up as well. We're gonna slice this up for our guests, but this is how to make a tomahawk steak. I hope this helped you a little bit. I'm gonna go slice this up and get going on this, but like and subscribe. Ferris Barbecue NJ, Jersey Style Barbecue. Thanks so much for joining.